Needless to say, but Titans in Season of the Deep are beyond broken because they have a solar build that allows them to just decimate everything, and on top of that, they get infinite regen. If you're not familiar with the build itself, it is very simple. You get the throwing hammer, which does ridiculous amounts of damage, and it also cures you when you pick it up. Not only that, thanks to the Sol Invictus aspect, it actually spawns a sunspot whenever you get a kill with it, so when you stand in said sunspot, you will also get restoration when you stand in it. So far, you basically throw your hammer, run up to it, you'll get cure and restoration if a sunspot is spawned. Then on top of that, you have an exotic known as Stronghold, and Stronghold does give you a very nice bonus when you're using a sword. And just to abridge what this actually does, if you just hit something with a sword, you will be given restoration ×2, which is absolutely ridiculous, especially for an exotic. I can see this getting nerfed in the future, but for now, it is just beyond broken. So not only does this build have a lot of ways to proc healing, it can literally just be a decimation to hordes of ads, which is pretty much what it's used in Ghosts of the Deep a lot. Something you might be wondering is what kind of weapons would be effective with the build, because naturally, yes, you're using a thrown hammer most of the time, but just for those times where you're not using your hammer, you might want something a bit longer ranged. And that's where this video comes in. I have picked out 3 weapons that actually go quite well with this build, and you can see them pretty much being demonstrated on screen at the moment. So the first weapon is known as the Summoner, and this is a solar auto rifle that came out ages ago for Trials of Osiris. I don't think you can get it in the current rotation pool, but it might come back at some point, so if it does come round, keep an eye out for it, because this is a really good solar auto rifle if you have one. Not to mention, you should be aiming to get one with Golden Tricorn, because that way when you get kills with your melee abilities, it will do a lot of damage with the assault rifle as well. Which is why you can see in this clip me going from like 1,000 a shot to 2,000. It's because I literally just got a kill and it's buffed the damage thanks to Golden Tricorn. And not only that, my roll actually has overflow, so if I get some heavy ammo, it will double the capacity of the magazine, taking it up to 84, which is very good if Golden Tricorn has procced. And the next one is the sword, and to be honest, you can literally use any sword for this, but I felt like using Throne Cleaver. And if you don't know what Throne Cleaver is, it is a reclaimed Leviathan weapon, so if you go into the helm, and go up to where Season of the Defiance was, you can get some reclaimed Leviathan weapons, and the Throne Cleaver is the sword for the Titans. With it being a solar sword, it pairs nicely with the subclass, and not only that, you can get a very nice crafted roll for doing damage with. The role specifically I'm going to go for with the sword is actually a bit of a wild one, because it's designed to do a lot of damage to bosses, while in the same breath actually be very good against ads. So I'm either going to go for Hungry Edge or Honed Edge, because it's not going to impact the magazine, and I don't really want to be burning through the ammo when it comes to the sword, because it's the main reason for me proccing Restoration ×2. You don't really have a choice of a guard, so it's just a heavy guard. But for the first perk, I'll be going with Thresh originally, and then upgrading it to the Enhanced Thresh afterwards, so it will actually get a small amount of super energy every time I kill a combatant, which with a sword like this, it is going to be quite a lot. Next is going to be Surrounded, because weirdly enough, Surrounded gives you a 35% damage increase when 3 enemies or more are nearby, and in Ghosts of the Deep, you are guaranteed to have at least 3 enemies around you at all times. Obviously, I'll get this up to the enhanced version when I get there, but for now, just the regular Surrounded will do. And then, not to mention 2XS, which basically, if you get a final blow while your super is full, you'll get a bonus to your strength and discipline, which means you're going to get quicker grenades and also recharge your melee quicker. And finally, we'll come to the primary slot, and to be honest, anything goes for this slot. It's not really important. You can use a shotgun like Imperial Decree, like I've got, Threat Detector and Surrounded, it's quite nice. You could also use a sniper rifle if you want something with a bit more range, or the raid shotgun if you've got the raid shotgun, but regardless, the first slot isn't really that important. As an alternative to the summoner, if you haven't got it and you want to use an auto rifle right now, there is also the Amit AR2. Albeit it does shoot a lot slower than the summoner, it still does the job quite well. And you can also craft it with Incandescent as well, so that's also a big bonus. If you wanted to be extra tanky as well, you could put Turnabout on the Amit AR2 and just pop a solar shield when they appear in the rooms of Ghosts of the Deep. And there you go, you're now unkillable and have an overshield, so have fun with that. That is pretty much the gist of this build. It is absolutely nuts to use this, and it is quite fun to use it as well, but yeah, this is going to have to get nerfed at some point. As for my Titan drip, you'll have to just wait and see next Tuesday, because I'll be releasing a Season of the Deep drip, and this set will be among them, so you can look forward to that, along with some Warlock drip and Hunter drip as well. But that's it for the video. Thank you very much for watching. If you liked it, remember to leave a like and a comment down below, and I shall see you in the next video.